It definitely just cut out while Jesal was talking, and I was really enjoying that as well.
Yeah,
I think it did the cutout at an hour thing. I think that's
yeah,
what it was.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't even realize.
No, you know what it was? It was actually Facebook was listening, and I had basically hacked into what their entire thesis is, so they just cut me off, man. They cut me off.
Yeah, I was invested as well. I didn't even realize what was going on. I thought, oh shit, what
Zux
just
was
happened
watching, man. Zux was like, shit, Jess is
there?
onto me. But yeah, so basically, just sort of recap, I think that the big corporations are going to get involved. I think Facebook had been developing their own cryptocurrency anyway, but apparently it's all gone a bit Pete Tong now. So I
Yeah,
think that they may just end up buying someone and just doing it that way. There's no way they're
yeah,
going to let the opportunity slide. Google, I'm not sure, but certainly, Amazon, all these guys, they're all going to get in on it in some sort of way,
they have
whatever
to.
it is. So
Yeah,
I think once they kind of get involved, then I think the market will concentrate. If you just look at the internet, it's a similar thing with the internet. Like you were saying before, you were kind of making the what do you call it, to search engines like Google,
mm,
Yahoo, AOL. We used to use something called Ask Jeeves. You're probably too young to even
yeah,
remember that, but you don't get none of those no more. You get Google, and you basically some people use Bing.
yeah,
That's pretty much it, unless you're privacy focused. So and that's actually a great point as well, because I think some people do want decentralized crypto. They do want a decentralized Web 3.0. I don't
yeah.
think they're going to get it in a meaningful way. I think centralization is just going to come no matter what, and I think,
And you need an element of it. Like this is
yeah,
it's nuanced, isn't it? But you need an element of centralization. That's why Ethereum works. It's not
yeah,
completely decentralized. It's kind of
no,
centralized.
yeah,
It just keeps things running. Like I don't know. Yeah, it needs some form of centralization, in my
yeah.
opinion.
And like the only thing I disagree with you on is that I still think we're early. I mean, okay, not to Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I think we're still early on a lot of things, because I think things are going to change so much in the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years. I think
That's only
crypto will,
good news. Yeah,
yeah, but I think crypto will just become so much kind of more. Um, I don't want to say bland, but I think right now we're kind of like the last 8 years has been the Wild West. This has been like the
yeah.
California gold rush. This has been like, just absolutely crazy, anything goes. And in 10 years time, it won't be like that. People won't be getting like scammed on Uniswap in 10 years time. I don't think so
Nah,
anyway,
nah, nah,
and I
nah.
think it will become so much more mainstream. And so these are the kind of like
You know
days
what,
that will
Jessel?
will
People still
reflect.
believe a Nigerian prince is emailing them with money, though. I think it
Oh,
will still happen.
you know what? And my mum still believes pretty much everything on WhatsApp. So you know what? You're probably
Yeah,
right,
so
to be honest. So
yeah,
yeah.
like yeah,
Um,
they'll probably still will. But do you know you actually made a good point there? And to add on to my investment thesis from earlier, it is literally sell the spades. Like um anything I'm in, I'm just looking at who sells the spade. I'm not looking so much at the projects. Like any move, Ethereum, NFTs, whatever, everything. Yeah, yeah, cool. Go to that. Tezos, I like what they're doing on there. Buy it. Solana, great. I'll buy it because they are the spades in the gold rush. So why do I care about the actual that look, you're not gonna buy a crypto punk now, right? But at least buy the thing it's on. Do you get what I mean? Like buy the thing that it's on so you can benefit from the network. Um, that for me is where it's at because those are the things that are going to last. The networks, they will last. They were the things that will continue on. If they worked, they'll continue working. Um, so that's why for me it just makes sense as a thesis, like to just continue with these sort of things because you're only going to have new ones that come up. Like this year,
that's it.
great, we're all excited about Solana. Next year, we're going to be excited about something else. That's the cool thing about it. Like you can't. I don't believe in being a maxi and just saying, "Oh, I only like Ethereum." That's stupid. Like look at everything because that's where the opportunity is and that's where money gets made. Yes, certain coins have done well over time, but once your coin starts hitting a few thousand per coin, it's kind of, they're not all going to have a Bitcoin run to 70 grand. I'll tell you that now. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless inflation goes through the roof and we're paying with, trolleys full of money for a loaf of bread, then yes, it will happen. But apart from that, that's not correct value for a lot of these projects.
And I think you raised a great point because we don't know what's going to happen. Year on year, new things are going to come. Okay, right now we're sort of saying that we think the big things will be NFT and gaming, right? But next year it could be something else. DeFi will only grow in strength. There will be markets that we have no idea will just come into place suddenly. It's kind of like when the iPhone only really blew up when the App Store was launched, and the App Store was an afterthought for Apple. They were just like putting it out there for the hell of it. And it was the App Store that drove iPhone growth because of developers. And it will be a similar kind of thing here. So once people start kind of, coding more on crypto, once they start kind of forgetting about spending time on other things and creating more and more, then, and also I think more localized communities I'm seeing it everywhere now, the opportunities. I'm like, wow, they should make their own coin. They should do this, they should do that. Because long term, I think that's what will kind of like drive crypto in the biggest way. And there'll be kind of like, you'll have huge corporations, and then you have really small communities, and there'll be this kind of middle class in between that does nothing basically, or pretty much nothing. So
what do you think about government? I say government, sorry, like central banks doing their own digital coins. Like, is there even any relevance to it, in your opinion?
I mean, China are already doing it, so I think China are well ahead of the curve. I hear very strong rumors about India trying to do it, and I can see
it makes sense in India. It actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
because
between China and
get
India,
a bank
that's half the
account in
world
India.
practically. So yeah,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I think it makes sense for a lot of places. I mean, we're obviously pretty privileged in this country, but there are a lot of people who aren't privileged. So and I think the more digitized everything becomes, whether it's stocks or shares, that I think, I could see digital currency. The only thing that worries me is just that element of control, and like everything is on the blockchain, and they know everything that you're doing. But I mean, I guess really, if someone really wanted to track your movements, they could track them right now anyway. This just makes it easier for the government to track everything you're doing. And if you've got a nefarious government, then that's more of a problem than if you've got like a happy clappy one, basically. So I would never 100% trust a digital currency unless it was somehow decentralized. So you might have a brick coin coming in, but would you trust the current government to implement it in the right way? And then they're like, you've got to use it. I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I don't have to use it, and then you'll see riots in the streets, basically. So
and it's it'll be pegged to whatever your currency is, and the old people ain't going to use it, so it will be a 20-year phasing out or whatever. We're already kind of cashless, so there's not much difference apart from it being on a blockchain. But all it does, it means that you can't blag your accounting anymore. I think like their benefits are massive from a government perspective. Like if they can see everything, they'll calculate.
And from HMRC as well.
They'll just calculate it for you. You don't need to submit anything to them. They'll just say, we'll tell you what you're paying, mate. We can see everything anyway. Don't worry about it. This is how much you owe us. Or they can even take it out themselves. That's the thing about blockchain. It's got some beauties to it. It can literally just be a contract that every time you're spending, 20% comes out because of this particular tax or whatever. There's only benefit for them. The problem is it's going to be knowledge. Those with knowledge will have the luxury of knowing about privacy coins, whatever. Even simple things like a VPN, people won't use it. Even to watch American Netflix, for example. I'm not even saying to do anything dodgy. Like, it is going to be knowledge that is power, like big time in like a tech age, because it keeps changing. That's why I just keep playing with every new thing that comes out, because if I don't for 3 months, I'll be left behind and I won't know what to do.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think this next 10 years in tech is going to be wild, absolutely wild. If you thought the last 10 years was crazy, just wait for this next 10 years. I think it's going to be nuts, absolutely nuts. So,
It'll be fun though. It will be fun. But I think, have we covered everything that we wanted to cover?
I think so, man. I think so. I mean, the only kind of thing I was going to say is just kind of like, do you think the next Bitcoin halving will make any difference, or are we past that point now?
I think Bitcoin halvings are always bullish. I think how market reacts will always be, you start buying the rumor, maybe they'll sell it at that point. and then you'll buy into it again. With Bitcoin, I'll be honest, the biggest alpha I can give is just look at the GBTC, and just if it's trading above premium, start planning exits. If it's trading below, it's the easiest long of your life. That you don't need to think about it. Just buy it, forget about it. It will go and it will trade above premium, and that's when you come out. Bitcoin has become kind of that easy now. And I think that's what's pissing everyone off, because it's been so range bound. If you're a range bound trader just trading support resistance, you're printing money right now. It's just people that are going, oh, I want to go max long and just blow all their money because it's been so choppy. And all the blue chips are doing that, but I prefer my blue chips to be a bit choppy. I don't want my blue chips to be parabolic. They're blue chips. I don't want Amazon to go crazy every day. I want Amazon to range a couple of % here and there. I don't mind. I want to know it's safe with Amazon. I want to know Microsoft's safe. Do you get what I mean? I don't mind if Solana goes crazy because it wasn't a blue chip. That's kind of how I view those things. But yeah, I think it's still bullish. Like, the funny thing is, even if we see a correction, I'm still bullish. Like, for me, I am just bullish crypto. I've seen enough evidence. It's been around long enough. It's being implemented everywhere. That's it. You can't get rid of it now.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Robinhood, this, I think it was the beginning of last year, crypto made up 3% of their entire holdings, Robinhood, like everything.
Yeah.
And like, a couple of months ago, it's about 41%. So in a year and a half, it's gone from 3% to 41%. And that is just insane to me. Okay, yeah, it might have been driven by, Dogecoin and a couple of other things, but I think Dogecoin to me, I'm like, yeah, cool, because if it's a bizarre gateway drug into crypto, then that's fine by me. As long as people can then use it and then learn about the actual good coins, then I think that's a good thing.
I think we all know it's happening when a place like Hargreaves Lansdown has a crypto desk. And they are for, yes, young guys like us will have accounts with them, but they've been around for so long. They're the trusted name. Like, most people will have accounts with HL, right? Once they kick off a crypto desk, and those sort of institutions do, there's no escaping it anymore. That's it. It's just, I think what will happen, next generation, the same way you've got your blue chip stocks, gold, things like that. We'll talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum, etc. in the same way. It will just be a part of the portfolio. It'll be a part of the basket of investments. They'll say, get into some bonds, get some stocks, get some crypto, get some precious metal. That is what it will be. It will fit into that bracket. Once they know how to value it, is it a security? Is it not a security? These are all questions for the SEC, etc., not for us. But once you're at that point, God knows what the prices will be, but it will be a very stable part of someone's portfolio. Once you've got your ETFs, our uncles and aunties can just buy into the ETF. They haven't got to hold the crypto. They haven't got to worry about hardware wallets. They can just buy the ETF and be happy. So yeah, it's non-stop opportunity. If anything, pray for another correction if you haven't got in yet, because that will be your opportunity to just accumulate while no one's talking about it, and you'll do great. And it's just patience after that. But we are in that phase. It's not even the future now. It's going to be the present. That is what you're going to have in front of you every day. So, yeah, I'm only bullish, which, yeah, I don't know. I can't even see it biting me in the arse. Like, I'm just only bullish on this. Like, I can't see any downside.
Yeah, I'm bullish as someone who loves crypto. From the investment side, I think we've got, like I keep saying, about 2 to 4 months before it just goes down. And so what I would say to people watching is try not to FOMO into the wrong coin right now. I think you've got a window of opportunity I think if you're brand new, fresh to crypto, then I think, again, like I would always just say, stick to the big coins. Look at like the top 10, 20 coins. Don't deviate from that, because I just don't want you losing all your money. But just keep in mind, if you're getting in now, there is like a time limit on before it starts crashing back down again. So just be responsible. We're always saying don't use leverage, because it's just not worth it. And just enjoy the ride. One of the best things is just learning about it, learning about all the amazing things, geeking out, just throwing yourself into it, the community aspects. There's so much, and I can only see that growing and growing. I still think we're early. Like me personally, I still think we're early. We're in the but only 1-2% of people in crypto right now in the whole world. So to me, that seems
do
early.
you know that might be why, yeah. And I think sometimes that's why I think we're not early anymore. It's because I guess I'm so like invested mentally, not financially, but like just mentally, I'm in it every day, and it's all I'll talk about with people. And the people I talk to about, they're very well versed in it. So it's like, oh yeah, we all just, this is it now, right? We can't all be early, but yeah, I guess we might be outliers still in this.
Yeah.
There might be a very large part of the population that don't. But if it is still early, then it's really exciting because you have a lot left in front of you to happen. But it's really cool either way. It's going to change how everything is done. Government don't stand a chance. Like they don't know what to do with it even right now. They just have to just accept it, to be honest, and just let it happen.
Yeah. Hopefully. Well, let's see what happens basically. But
Yeah.
But are you going to put this on YouTube again? Because then I'll put this in the podcast format, just for anyone watching. If
Yeah,
you
do it.
like Mystics, it's gone into 2 parts. Then last time Premz put it on his YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I
I'll
ripped
do
it and
that.
put it on my podcast as well, which is the
Yeah.
Transatlantic Rebels podcast. So I'll stitch that all into one go. And because we got some really good feedback on episode 2, and some people have messaged me saying they listened to it multiple times, and it kind of really helped them through sort of various periods. So
I might even listen to it again now.
yeah, I listened to it like a couple of weeks ago. I was like, man, I needed to listen to this because I needed to sort of check myself before I wreck myself. So you know, yeah.
But okay, cool. As always, it was a pleasure. I think maybe next time we check in like a bear market. That'll be cool, because I think that's the time to talk about it, like when no one is, and look at the opportunities at that point. I think that'll be cool. So if that's like 4 months time, it'll be 4 months time.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you once again for having me on.
Yep. All right, brother. Good seeing you, man. I'll catch up with you soon.
All right, peace.
So, peace.